What's going on, guys? No Guides here. Welcome back to another video. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. In today's video, we're going to go over the icons, which is the most efficient for your time and which ones I think are usable, which ones are not. Just to give you the first information, so there is in total 24 foot swap icons, 24, and you have up to 77 days to get it. So although Essien and Vieira are available, realistically by the time you collect all the foot swaps, it's probably going to be in 3 months time. So I need to remember that. So basically by mid-March, end March is when you'll be getting the players like Vieira or players like Essien, which I think are around 23 icon swap cards. The second thing you need to understand is there's different seasons. They've changed it now. So for now, I think there's 3 seasons because they can't jump it all together. So this season is the Christmas season, the holiday season. 14 days left from the day you're watching this video, and you can only get 6 swaps. So that means that the remaining other 12 or whatever is going to be the next season. Maybe the remaining other 10 is going to be in the next season, and the season after that you're going to have whatever left over. The remaining, I think it's 8. So that's probably the way they're going to do it, or maybe 9 next season and 9 the season after. Now, fortunately, they've added more squad, because everyone's been complaining about rivals. They reduced the amount of rival games, and now they're forcing us to play squad battles, which is probably the worst because you have to play 6 squad battle games on Legendary. Now, I don't even touch squad battles, but it is difficult. Well, it's not difficult, should I say? It's more boring to play. But anyway, let's get straight onto the foot swaps. So we're going to start with the ones I would say. So the first one is, hang on, where is it? Foot swap. So there's 24 in total. The first one's Bobby Moore. As I said, I wouldn't get him. Too slow. Simple as, you cannot use him. If you're anywhere above Division 6, you cannot get him. I would just not recommend getting him whatsoever. Frank Rijkaard. And now, you see, generally speaking, the beginning ones are like not worth getting. Again, Frank Rijkaard, I don't think he's worth getting. I think for only 4, he's not that bad, but he's not worth getting. He's not worth it even for only 4. You might as well get Vieira now. Obviously, his balance and agility is a bit of an issue, but Vieira is the one which is worth it for its value. He's got decent agility, decent balance, actually pretty good balance, I would say. Very good defensive stats, very good physical stats. He doesn't need the stamina as a defender, and he's got the pace. I think a shadow on, Vieira will be really good. Slide tackling is not that important. The main thing is stand tackling. So, he's 6'2", medium high if you care about work rates, even though you can argue it's not important for centre backs. So he's actually a very good option. So in terms of time spent, Vieira is a good option. Van der Sar is another decent one. He's a good goalkeeper. I think he'll give you the hyperlink to Van Dijk. So if you have Van Dijk in your team and you need to get him on full chemistry, and let's say you're waiting for Team of the Year, Van Aanholt for right back, maybe Van der Sar will be a good option for 2 green links. Maybe on your left hand side you have something like Eder Militao or something like that. But he's good for that link. Then Raul is actually a decent card. It's middle card. He can play Lam, Ram, Cam, any of those. He can even possibly play striker. The only issue is that he's worth 500k. Now, for 10 swaps, is it worth getting Raul? I would say not. I mean, if you're above a gold 2 player, after 3 weekend leagues, you can probably muster up the money to buy Raul anyway. So I wouldn't really say he's worth it for 10, but I would say he's not that bad of a choice. Now, Coman is actually a good option, but I wouldn't play him as centre-back. I'll actually play him as CDM. To be honest, he's a decent centre-back, but the agility and balance is what really concerns me, and especially up against someone like Messi or Neymar, a very agile player that turns very quickly. The problem is, Coman, will he be able to catch up? I'm not really sure. You can't put a guard on him because he needs a sprint speed and an acceleration boost. So, I mean, I think Shadow's the best, but in all honesty, because of agility and balance, I wouldn't play him in centre back. He's actually not that bad. You could probably get away with him, but I would say if you're like maybe in the higher divisions, Division 2 or 1, or you're going for Gold 1 to Elite, I really wouldn't get him in my opinion. I still think he's a very good card, but the main place to use him is CDM. So I think this is a card you can buy. Even with Shadow, you can start him on 7 chem in CDM. If you put him in a CDM position, you can still get 7 chemistry, so I think he's actually a very good option. Or you can start him in centre back and maybe move him in game if you want. but I wouldn't play him as a centre-back. He's still a decent centre-back, I won't lie, but I would say playing him at CDM is the best place to use him. I would say he's a very underrated card, especially in CDM. He can do everything. He can shoot as well. Look at his stats, He's got 3-star weak foot, but that's not that important. The most important thing is his long shots and his shot power. Very important for a centre mid. I'm going to move on to Seedorf. Another good card, decent card. Is he worth 10? Is one of the debatable ones as well. These ones we're going to go on to Blanc in a second, but when you're on like 10, you might as well push to Blanc just for 3 extras. You see what I'm saying? So Seedorf is another good card, a very balanced card, but a shadow or an anchor, he's actually an exceptional card to use in centre mid. Can do a bit of everything. You can play him in CDM. You may look at his defending, but the main thing is stand tackling and interceptions. The rest doesn't matter. Heading accuracy is not important. Defensive awareness is to some extent not important, and neither is slide tackling. As long as you got stand tackling interceptions, you're fine. So he's actually a good balanced card. Now Perez, unfortunately, as much as an Arsenal fan I love, and Invincibles I love them as well. Such amazing players. He's not a good football player in FIFA. He's not a FIFA player. Very good football player in real life. It's not really the best FIFA players. Medium. He's got 4-star, decent sprint speed, but his agility balance does let him down a bit, and so does his strength and aggression. I wouldn't say he's worth getting this card at all. If you really want to try this card, if you do have money for any of these cards, obviously try to buy the card first. If you got 500k, try to buy Seedorf or Raul, for example, before you use them in game. If I was to use him, I'd probably put a hunter on him, maybe a hunter or a sniper, probably just to get the balance, agility up. Probably what I'd probably use for Raul. Just go back to Raul, by the way. I think something like a hunter for Raul as well. You could probably play on a wing like a Lamb or a Ram in a 4-2-3-1. Actually, might not be that bad. Nakata, again, I wouldn't get him. I don't think he's worth it. You might as well get someone like Raul and play him in a cam position. He's too slow in my opinion. His finishing is not too great. You might as well get someone like Raul instead over someone like, Nakata. You can argue the passing's better, but if you put, for example, a dead-eye on Raul, he's much better than Nakata is what I would say. Going to Socrates, another good card, but again, the balance is an issue. If you're the kind of person that doesn't care about less stick dribbling and you like to hold the ball up and you like to shield the ball, then Socrates is an option for you, maybe as a centre mid, potentially as a cam. He does have a 5-star weak foot, but in my opinion, he's too slow. He's just too slow, and I think you combine it with the balance and agility, he's not going to be able to... Maybe he's not going to feel good on the ball with dribbling. As simple as that. But he can play maybe a centre mid role. If you're playing like 4-1-2-on-2, you could play that centre mid role quite well. I do think he needs a hunter though. I think a hunter is the best option. I think 80 sprint speed is too slow. There's no point putting an engine on him because if he does get 66 balance, is it really going to help? Not that much. So I definitely say the hunter is the best thing to use for this card. Again, I wouldn't recommend it. Now Zambrotta, this is base Zambrotta. Now his card costs about 1 million. It's actually a very good card, 5-star weak foot. A card that I wouldn't use in right back, maybe in CDM, move him in game to a CDM. But I kind of look back at players like Atal, and I just think, you could have bought Atal for like 30k, a fraction of this price, and you can argue Atal has better finishing. Atal has like 80 finishing and very good agility and balance. So like this is a card where it's still a very good card and a very good right back card, but is it worth getting? No. There's 2 players which I think players should have got regardless. And that is Renato Sanchez and Atal. There's a 2 steals. Sanchez was only 30k, and Atal, I think he was only like 25k or something, ridiculously cheap. But as you can see, if you compare that, for example, to Zambrotta's card, you can argue a card that's in some ways better than Zambrotta. So is Zambrotta worth getting? His card does cost 1 million coins. If you want him like a hyperlink Politano or something like that, he's then worth getting. Otherwise, I would say no. In all honesty, he's not really worth it. I would, unless you're going to use him right back, I would say he's wasted. Now Figo, actually a very good option. 4-star, medium. But if you got him on stay forward or come back on offense, he's going to come back regardless and stay forward regardless. With the hunter, he's going to be exceptional. With the sniper, I think the best bet is a sniper. Probably very good in the Lamb or a Ram in a 4-2-3-1. Probably can play the cam role. Maybe can get away with him on strike if you haven't got the best of teams. But another very good card. I would say this is a card that's worth doing. Worth doing indeed. Now, Sol Campbell, in my opinion, just get Rio Ferdinand. Buy Rio Ferdinand from the market. There's no point getting this card. The agility balance is horrific. You might as well just get Coman. I'll be honest, it's better to take Coman over this Campbell card. So if you really want a centre back, go for Ronald Koeman. Do not go for Sol Campbell. Lineker, again, it's another card that's very good. High-low, 4-star weak foot. But you know what? You might as well just buy his middle card. This is his prime card. Buy his middle card. Maybe put a hunter on him, or even a sniper. It's probably better off getting his middle card 500k. I don't think at this rate it's worth spending that much. Now, Blanc is the mystery card. Now, this card is actually exceptional. You put a shadow on this card, he's got basically everything you need for a CDM. He's 6'4", medium high. Very good sprint speed. We'll have 92 sprint speed, and he's got very good finishing. So he can basically run from deep like a Ramsey type role. You can play box to box as a centre mid in a 4-1-2-1-2, or you can play CDM and he can finish. He's got the short pass, he's got the long passing, he's got the agility and balance, even though he's 6'4", so he can dribble. You put a shadow on that, all those defensive stats go up, and he's got the stamina, the physicality, strength, aggression, jumping. So for me, this is the best card you can get in terms of efficiency. As I said, don't forget, there's 24 foot swaps. There's 6 now, right? So let's say you only get 3 now because you want to play squad battles, right? The next season's going to start in what? In 15 days? Was it 20 days? 15 days time or something like that? Let's be realistic. By the time you get this card, it'll be end of January, maybe February. Let's be realistic. Let's say the objectives quickly. I would say this is probably the best in terms of worth time for efficiency. Now, mid-icon pack, again, that's the risk you want to take. Fernandez, 2-star weak foot. Can be decent as a sub. 3-star weak foot. It can be decent as a sub. I wouldn't really get him. I think he's still a good card, though, nonetheless. Very good agility and balance. Something like a sniper on this card, or even like a hunter, be exceptionally well. Maybe can work, for example, in a 4-2-3-1. I would say he's actually a card worth getting. Barnes, I wouldn't get. To be honest, I wouldn't say get him. He looks alright. He looks actually pretty good, but I don't know, man. I think you got better options than Barnes, to be honest, and we'll get on to that in a second. It's like Del Piero. I'd rather get Del Piero over Joe Barnes. If you look at, for example, I think he's got John Barnes. Sorry. If you look at Del Piero, he's got 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot, medium. But again, come back on offense or stay forward would be very good for this guy. I would say an engine. Just want to get that balance up. You can get away with, you can put Hunter on him, but I would say engine. You could probably play in striker as well, in all honesty. But I think the main position for him is either a cam. I think cam is his key position, but Lam and Ram is not that bad either. Ronaldinho, he just gave the wrong one. If they gave the 91, made him like 24. Okay, but a 90, no, 89, let's be realistic. 80 sprint speed, 75 stamina. Where are you going to play him? The only position he can play is cam. He can't play centre mid. He hasn't got the stats for centre mid. He can't play striker because he's too slow. So the only place you can play, or Lam or Ram, you can't play on a wing. So only on a 4-4-2. The only place he can play is a cam role. So unless you play a 4-2-3-1 and you're a Ronaldinho fan and you want to play him there, he's not worth 20 in my opinion. Now, was it 20 or 21? 21, even worse. Now, this is the big debate. Essien or Patrick Vieira. I would say they're both good. I would say lean towards prime Essien. He costs 2 million on the market. I think Patrick Vieira costs about 1.3. But the main thing is Essien's better all around. He's got the better agility and balance as well. His agility balance is extremely important. Although Patrick Vieira, you can argue, is higher in terms of the height. He's taller, 6'4", longer reach. He's medium though in comparison to Essien. And he's high, 4-star weak foot. He's much better defensively, physical-wise. Physicality is much better. Dribbling, passing, shooting is better. The only thing Vieira is arguably better you could argue, is the physicality aspect. In some ways, so for example, the aggression and the strength comparison, he's just a bit better. But even then, you're talking about marginally better, So if you're going to go this far, I would say definitely get Essien. You slap a shadow on this guy, and you basically got one god tier player in CDM. And don't forget, when you'll be getting these cards realistically will be that like Ronaldinho, Essien and Vieira will be end of March. So end of March, team of the year's out. You got 2 months to team of the season. I'll say get Vieira. So get Essien. Don't get Vieira. I don't think he's worth it. I think Essien is the way to go. But anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on the foot swaps. Just a quick, brief overview. Long story short, if you haven't got enough time and you want to get the most appropriate for example, you're worth it for your time, Vieira is very good for 6. And I would say if you can push to 14, then get someone the likes of Blanc. Blanc is what I'm going to be getting because I can't be asked as well, truthfully speaking, to play squad battles. If you're going all the way, I would say get Essien. If you're going to get all 24, what you can do is you can split it up. Now, how you split up is completely up to you. Now, I would say maybe that's a difficult one. I'll say if you're going to get all 24, maybe if you get Blanc. If you get Blanc, then I think that means you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 left. Maths is not even amazing right now, even though I should have plus 10. But anyway, you can probably get, I would say if you get Raul or Seedorf with Blanc, let's assume that you already have Kante or someone on your team. If you could maybe get someone like, I would say someone like Blanc, and then you combine it with, or maybe even someone like Figo. You get someone like Figo, and you combine it with someone like Seedorf or Coman. I think is actually a good idea. If I did go all the way, and let's say I wasn't getting Essien, I'd probably get Blanc, and I'd probably get one of the centre mid, someone like Seedorf, maybe in Raul. But anyway, that's kind of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.